It's me. I'm back again. How you feeling, lovely? I'm feeling a lot better today. We might talk about that a little bit later, but we won't dwell on it for too long. Anyway, what are we up to? We are going to have a go at making a Suncatcher using a little piece of glass, some Sharpies and Posca paint pens. Why are we doing this? Well, a wee while ago I posted a video in which I made this lovely crochet fly curtain, which is still holding up, by the way. It's hanging over there, looking good. Towards the end of that video, I asked you which craft project you would like to see me make next. And the choice was between a Suncatcher or an oven glove. And guess what? The Suncatcher won by 1 vote. Alright, full disclosure, only one person said that they wanted to see either, and the Suncatcher got it. But hey, that's fine by me. So here we are.
Thanks recording Roz for that lovely intro. This is the voice of the disembodied editing Roz. Thought I'd jump in here to explain what I'm doing. And as this section of the video is so long, I thought I might also give you a little bit of a potted history of the channel and take us on a walk down make-do memory lane. So first things first, I want to choose the image that I'm going to put on the glass. Now, when I made the prototype, I drew my design on the glass freehand using the Posca markers first before colouring in using Sharpie. And for reasons that will become clear later on, I decided this time that I wanted to do the colouring with the Sharpie first and then go in after and put the outline in Posca pen. And so for that reason, because I'm not doing the drawing freehand, I've decided to just trace over an image in this lovely colouring book. And so after much deliberation, I've settled on this image because I'm going to colour it in to look like me and my daughter. Oh, sweet. And I'm going to cut the image out of the book because it's going to be infinitely easier to work on a flat surface. So then I'm going to tape the piece of glass onto the image just so that it stays in place and doesn't wobble around too much. I don't always like to colour in the lines, but on this occasion I want to. It is also worth mentioning, of course, that this image is a little bit too detailed for what I'm trying to achieve. I won't be able to pick up every single detailed line in this image because the Posca paint pens have got quite a fat tip. So I'm just going to take a little bit of artistic license. And here starts the fun bit, the colouring in, my fave. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for clicking on this video. There's so many hundreds of thousands of other things you could be watching on YouTube, but for some reason you've chosen to click on this one, and I'm so very grateful to you. It is a relatively new little baby channel that's only just over a month old. So as aforementioned, I'm just going to take you through a brief history of MakeDoMend, look at the previous videos so that you're all caught up. If you're not new here and you have seen all of the previous videos, feel free to put me on mute here and just watch me colouring in. So, 19th of April 2026, the first YouTube video of MakeDoMend goes live, and it's called Let's Find Purpose. In the video, I talk about how this channel came about, and that following a little mentee bee, I came to the realisation that I need to make things just to stay alive. And explained that I want this to be a creative hub, a safe space where people who like to make things just to stay alive can come together and feel a sense of solidarity and community. and set out the manifesto and told you what you could expect from future videos at MakeDoMend. Oh, let me just jump in here and explain the reason why I've turned the image upside down. It's so much easier to turn your work as you go to prevent the risk of you rubbing off you've already coloured in with your hand. So yeah, turn your work around as you go. It's far easier than colouring in, having Sharpie ink all over your hands and having to colour in the exact same place again. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. So the first manifesto item was a promise to walk and talk you through my process and show you what I'm making. Not necessarily so you can replicate it. This is not a tutorial channel, as I've said many times before, but just to give you some ideas and some inspiration and show you something that you might not have seen before. Next manifesto promise was to bring you some joyful inspiration. One of the things that I've done with just of my previous videos is create a YouTube playlist to complement the video that I'm releasing, which contains content that I've been consuming since my last video was released. Quite often, I'll include videos which were the direct inspiration for the project that I'm making during the current video. And this time is no different. So I've created a playlist to complement this video and I've linked it down below in the description. Please do consider going and checking out these other channels. They might just be a brilliant source of inspiration for you too. So yeah, go and have a look, show them some love, but not till you've finished this one. Please stick around for this one, please. Another thing that I've added to most of my previous videos is a complimentary Spotify playlist, just of songs that I've been listening to throughout the time since my last video, songs that I've listened to while I've been creating, songs that have just made me smile, really. A very few times in my life, I've encountered somebody who said, "Oh, I don't really like music. I don't listen to music." And, you know, each to their own, but it just sounds absolutely bonkers to me. I personally wouldn't want to live without music. It has a very heavy presence in my life. Music has the power to make us feel things. It can invoke emotion. And let's be honest, emotions are quite often the foundation for creativity. If you really feel something, you feel compelled to make something, to channel that emotion through your hands into a physical entity. I don't know if I'm even making sense. Anyway, look, again, I have created a Spotify playlist and I've linked it down below in the description. I'd really love you to just go and have a listen, see what you think. I do, of course, appreciate that not everyone's musical tastes are the same, and you might not like the kind of music I'm putting in these playlists, but I hope that we can all reach an appreciation that music is powerful and that sometimes when you're having a really crap day, switching on a song that makes you feel happy can just turn your mood around completely. And maybe you might find a song in that playlist that does it for you. If you don't know, that's okay. Just come back and leave me a comment to let me know what kind of artists or music genre you would like to have on the playlists going forward. Now, something else that I think is potentially worth mentioning at this juncture is the fact that the majority of the supplies that I have bought to create this project, I have thrifted. That's right. I'm a very thrifty and frugal gal, which I think is important given that we live in this hellscape of a cost of living crisis. So yeah, wherever possible, in any of the makes that you see me make here at MakeDoMend, God, how many times can you say the word make? Most of the supplies will have been purchased from charity shops, car boot sales, or good old Vinted, one of my favourite places to hunt for cost-effective art supplies. Colouring book that I chose this image from is a perfect example. That was a vintage find. I bought it as part of a bundle of a load of other craft books, which are really gorgeous. I'll show you them one day. And the pens, the Sharpies and the Posca paint pens. Ah, what an absolute steal. These were both vintage finds too. I don't think there's that many places you could buy a box of 26 brand new Sharpies for under a tenner delivered, or 3 boxes of 10, aka 30 Posca paint pens, again for just over 35 quid with delivery. We're talking proper bargains here, guys. So even if the project that I'm doing today doesn't inspire you, I'm hoping that gives you a little bit of inspiration next time you want to work on a craft project to think about how you can source your materials a little bit more ethically and also a lot more cheaply. There's so many bargains to be had out there if you're willing to take a look in unconventional and unexpected places. The third and fourth items on the manifesto of what you can expect at MakeDoMend are a soft space for hard days and accountability with kindness. Now, we're going to come back to these 2 points a little bit later on when we address the elephant in the room. Moving along then, the second video where I crocheted a fly curtain, well, I've already mentioned that in the introduction, so I won't dwell on it again. It pretty much is what it says on the tin. And as I've already mentioned, towards the end, I set a choose your own adventure challenge where viewers could choose between a Sharpie Suncatcher or an oven glove. And that's where this video came about. The reason I'm mentioning it again is because one would potentially assume that this video, where I make the Suncatcher, would sequentially come after this video where I invited you to choose between the next 2 craft projects. But that would be far too logical for good old Rosa, so there've been another couple of videos in between. And so along came the third video, in which I made a Kinnesaga art quilt. And the logic behind that video coming next was that I needed a piece of glass to make my Suncatcher. So rather than throw away a perfectly good piece of glass that came out of the frame that I used to frame my art quilt, well, that's the glass I'm using for the Suncatcher. I'm over-explaining, aren't I? You probably got that already. I'm sorry. While I've been rambling away here, I've forgotten that I haven't really been explaining what's happening on the screen. As you can see, I'm just colouring in the image. But in case you're wondering why I'm also using some Q-tips or cotton buds, depending where in the world you live, is that where I have made mistakes and coloured outside of the lines, I have found that a tiny little dab of hand sanitizer on the end of a cotton bud can clean up any mistakes you make with the Sharpies just perfectly. So yeah, just in case you were wondering, I'm erasing mistakes. And I'm also procrastinating because I don't really want to talk about video number 4. It is the aforementioned elephant in the room. Here we go then. Video number 4. It wasn't like videos 1 to 3 at all. It was recorded in a bit of a moment of madness. I think it's fair to say that I was having a really bad day. In fact, it's probably more accurate to say that I'd had a series of bad days that all culminated and came to a head in this very moment where I just sat in front of the camera and ugly cried. My intentions behind it were good, but my intent didn't quite come across on camera. It was supposed to be about, first and foremost, that success is an elusive thing, and that sometimes we can be successful right in the moment without even realizing, because we can spend too much time comparing our successes to others' successes and think that our success is somehow smaller or more insignificant than someone else's. And that just isn't true. And with the benefit of hindsight, I can see, looking back, that it just came across as a little bit overdramatic and self-indulgent at parts. And I'm really sorry for that. Now, as you'll remember, back in video number 1, I said that the third item on the manifesto would be a soft space for hard days. And I think that's what I was probably trying to convey during the 4th video, the elephant in the room video. I just wanted to kind of demonstrate that MakeDoMend is a safe space where you can come, even if you're feeling a bit crap, and hopefully feel a little bit supported, motivated, and to see yourself as a little bit better than you might perceive yourself to be in the moment. That's all I was trying to do. Not very successfully, but oh well, it's done now. It's fine. Anyway, the second key point that I was trying to get across in that video is that I'm sick of being an inconsistent person. I don't know. Habits don't seem to stick with me, not positive ones at least. And I was getting really frustrated with my own lack of consistency. I kind of forgotten that YouTube is something that I want to be consistent with, but I hadn't made any videos. I hadn't really made anything for a little while. And I thought, if I don't put something out soon, people are going to think that I've completely abandoned and given up on MakeDoMend, and I'll lose the precious few subscribers that I do have. So yeah, I put something out there as an act of consistency. However, with the benefit of hindsight, and after receiving some really valuable feedback from someone who I love very much and whose opinion I value very highly, I can see that this video was actually riddled with inconsistency in and of itself. I was reminded, for those people who have been back video after video, that people are coming back because they feel like they know what to expect. They know that they're going to see my creative process. They know that I'm going to share some joyful inspiration. I'm hoping they already know and trust this is a soft space for hard days. People know those things, but I kind of didn't provide that in this video. Anyway, I want to draw a firm line under video number 4 and say it was a bit of a blip. Look, I am an emotionally vulnerable person, and I do have mental health struggles, and I do think it's really important that we open up and speak about how we're feeling in the moment. Believe me, I hid how I was feeling from the rest of the world, and probably even from myself, for a very long time, and it brought me to a place where I couldn't physically function anymore. I don't want that to happen again. But on the other hand, I want to make sure that what I'm bringing to you is encouraging and supportive and joyful, which video number 4 wasn't really. So let's draw a line under it. I'm very, very grateful that this channel is still small enough that I can afford to make mistakes, because hopefully you guys realise that I am new to this. I'm not perfect. I'm still learning. And so if you do want to stick around this precious little corner we've carved out in the internet and join the hub, I guess what I'm saying is, hopefully going forward, you can expect something better from me, something a little bit more consistent. And I hope this video that you're looking at today proves that point. Anyway, thank you so much for humouring me and allowing me to take you on a little wander down Make Do memory lane, go over the history and humble beginnings of this small little channel. I'm going to go away now. I think I'm going to be able to trust in recording Roz to explain what she's doing in the rest of the video. I could be wrong. I don't know. You might hear from me a little bit later. But for now, just sit back and enjoy a bit of colouring in while we listen to some sweet, soft, twinkly music. Ah, lovely stuff.
This is the nerve-wracking bit, because I could completely mess up everything I've just done. It's alright, I'm willing to give it a go.
Well, editing Roz is back again sooner than we expected. I honestly thought that while I was doing this, I explained that the reason this was so nerve-wracking is because I was about to spray the whole image that I'd just invested a load of time colouring in with perfume. Now, the reason for that is, again, when I made the prototype, the original version, I realised that when colouring in with Sharpies, you get some quite hard lines, and I just didn't want that. So after doing lots and lots of experiments with lots of different chemicals, little scientist that I am, I found that if you spray it with perfume and just leave it to do its thing, all those little harsh lines tend to disappear and it just gives this very blended effect. Beautiful.
So that's been outside drying in the sunshine, and I'm really pleased with it. I can't really show you very well, but you might kind of get the idea if I do that. Basically, what I'm trying to do is see. Too late. I didn't want to detach it from the paper, but it's fine. I just want to see how it's looking. I really like it. I really like how blended it looks. But there are some areas that I'm going to have to touch back up, I think. Ooh, I can't get it back in the same place. That's why I didn't want to take it off. What a clumsy oaf. Oh well, it's fine. It's not going to be that difficult to line back up, I don't think. And we're not aiming for perfection, because perfection doesn't exist. According to James Welsh, anyway. Oh, goodness, goodness, goodness. Right, so now comes the outline using Posca. Black Posca pen. Come on. There you are. No, what? You're too fat. Sorry to body shame you, but... Oh, gosh. Look who's come to say hello. She's just come inside from her little bit of midday sunbathing, haven't you, darling? Right, little hot dog. Go on, scram. Right. So now, the outlines. And this is going to be quite tricky. A bit fiddly. You know I don't like fiddly. Fiddly fast. Ah, no. But we're going to try. Let's do it. It seems, dare I say, seems to be going okay. It could always go wrong at the last minute, couldn't it? Is my big noggin in the way again? Ah, don't didn't tell me you weren't even switched on. Goodness sake. I'm so professional. My God. Okay, so let me show you where I've got up to. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. So yeah, I've started doing the outline, obviously. Oh my God. You've got to get your act together, woman.
Editing me again. So yeah, I'm just going to put all the outlines on basically. I'm going to speed it up, otherwise it's going to be a painfully slow process to sit and watch.
Right then. It is the moment of truth. Okay. What we got, what we're working with. Aww. I really like it. I don't know how to show you properly. I'll have to show you it properly when it's hanging up. But yeah. So. It's cute, man. The Posca is disappearing a little bit. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of feathering a little bit. I might go back over it. I feel like going back over it though might just take the first layer off. What do? We give it a go. Right then, that's going to have to, I'm going to call it there. So now I'm going to go and spray it to seal it using, why did I put that so far away? Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch Craft Enamel, just clear varnish basically, which yeah, should seal it, protect it. I need to be quite sparing and give it a couple of sprays probably. So yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Righty ho then. It's had a couple of layers of varnish and it's been outside to dry. Probably not as long as it should be, admittedly, but patience has never been my strong suit. So now for the next step, and that is to put some tape around the edges of the glass, because obviously it's quite sharp and we don't want anybody to have any accidents. So let's do that. So in order to put this tape on nice and straight, actually I want to flip it over and put it on from the front first. This tape is an inch thick. No, it's not. It's a ½ inch thick. So what I need to do is line up the tape so that I am putting the tape on straight at a ¼ inch. Little scissors to the ready.
And it was around this point that my daughter arrived home with a couple of her mates and it all got a little bit noisy. So next bit's coming up soon. We're nearly done with this video. I'm sorry, I know it's very long, but we're nearly there, promise.
Ah, but that was a lovely little interruption. My daughter came home with her 2 friends, one of which has just finished her first year at uni, so we haven't seen her for a while. So that was lovely. Anyway, yeah, I managed to finish off putting the tape around the edges. So now I've got to find a way to hang it up. So I found a way. I found a YouTube video that inspired me. I'm going to show you how to do this, allegedly.
Turns out recording me didn't do a great job of explaining what I was doing with the yarn, how I was wrapping it around the corners to create a hanging loop for my Suncatcher. And you know what? Editing me isn't going to try and explain it either, because you really should go and watch that video. It's so much easier to follow than what I'm doing here. But if you do want to see my caggy-handed attempt, then, well, here you go. Enjoy. Ah, there we go. Finally, it's done. I hope you'll agree it looks quite pretty, as long as you don't pay too much attention to the dirty windows. Sorry about that.
Smashing that, isn't it?
Oh, it is recording, Roz. Well done, Bab. And well done to you for getting through this video. My God, what a long one. You don't even want to know how long it took me to edit it. Anyway, I am so grateful to you. I know I keep saying it, but it's true, so I'm going to keep saying it. Thank you so much for stopping by. Come back again for slightly more consistent, maybe not much less chaotic crafting content. Join the hub if you're not already subbed, where hopefully you'll see incremental improvements on each video going forward. Oh, and please share this one with friends who you think might also like to join the hub and come along for the ride. Perhaps most importantly of all, whatever else you do, make sure you MakeDoMend. I'm going to let recording Roz say goodbye now. See ya.
Love you, Bab. Ta-ra!